come up with that dog shit pick.
What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Hello. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Jimnasium. As always, it's me, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only. It is Bliff Stogie himself, Chase. Lupine Fiasco Sessions. What's up, buddy?
Speaking of the pornerized name, Biff Poggi. How much did he look like he was enjoying that celebration, my man?
He looked real good, dude. The Charlotte he came out to the press conference and just the cutoff, looking disheveled. I feel like 70% of the time Biff Poggi's like up and about, he just looks disheveled.
I'm not sure that it's not John Daly. I'm still haven't just separated them out and confirmed that they're two different people.
And it's a John Daly alter ego.
Yeah, I think John Daly, just like when he wants to be John Daly, he puts on a gigantic beard. When he doesn't want it to, he's Biff Poggi. He takes it off and he's Biff Poggi.
Yeah, when he wants to get into his football coaching mentality, he's just like, oh, I'm going to just coach the Clits. I'm going to coach Charlotte. It'll be perfect.
He had this look on his face in the pictures that I've seen of him post-game that was like, listen, I told the athletic director, I told all the kids, you guys have been giving me a twitch all season, and when we do finally win a game, I'm going to get absolutely hammered unapologetically because this job is really hard. And he looks like he went all in on that. He got hammered before the press, the post-game presser.
Late fourth quarter, he was getting hammered.
Yeah, that's when they'd started putting High Life in the Gatorade,
And I'll shout out Charlotte. They are not the bottom of the AAC. There are actually 3 teams below them. Can you guess the 3 teams in the AAC that are below Charlotte in the standings?
I feel like I can tell you this easily. In fact, are you ready? It's gonna be Sam Houston State University.
That's not in the AAC. This is in conference.
That's Conference USA. Okay. AAC. Let's see. Bottom is going to be Navy?
No. Navy is 2 teams. Navy's right in the middle.
Army?
No.
Army's not even. Jesus.
Army's independent still.
Yeah. One of the Florida something Jesus. Okay, who is it?
The Dilfs. UAB.
The Dilfs. Okay, the Dilfs.
The Pirates of ECU. Having a real rough season.
It's true.
And at the bottom, 0-4 in conference, 2-6 overall. The Temple Owls, hooty hoo.
Yeah, Kurt Warner's kid.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I like about seeing Kurt Warner's wife is that she has literally looked the exact same since
forever.
Since he was winning Super Bowls at or a Super Bowl at St. Louis.
On a related note, I'll get into it when we talk about more of the games. Technically, Nebraska's still very much alive for the Big Ten West. It's the dumbest division in football.
That is a really bad. I was just thinking
it's the worst division.
I was sitting here because I was very invested in a couple of these games because they're so fun to bet on because it's such a bad division. And I was thinking, man, they're really going to get bailed out whenever UCLA and USC comes over. And then I'm like, oh man, then I forgot they're doing divisionless football.
I don't know
so they're not even getting bailed out.
I don't know if they're doing divisionless.
Okay.
They might be doing something like the ACC and just shaking up with the division. They're obviously just going to shift whatever the divisions are. I do think they'll be going. Maybe they will be going divisionless because it sounds like they've been trying to experiment with just the 2 best teams in the conference final.
Right. Yeah. Which is just a fail-safe to get maybe 2 teams into the playoff instead of them playing each other once in the regular season.
Yeah,
and
when you
then,
think about like the winner of Ohio State Michigan gets like the benefit of instead of having to hope and pray, they get to play probably Iowa.
right.
Actually, right now it's probably Wisconsin. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Either way, Chase, this is the last week that we're really going to care about the AP top 25 because next week, the college football playoff rankings are scheduled. So actually, I guess we'll still care about the AP ranking because we're going to record and release on Sunday night.
Yeah.
And these will come out Tuesday.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The AP poll is fucking dead to us.
We'll start with the receiving votes.
Let's go.
One vote, Wisconsin.
Boo. They're not a good football team.
They are not.
I understand receiving one vote. I'll give them that.
Also receiving one vote, UNLV.
What?
UNLV's got a vote, baby.
Way to go, Coach Barry Odom.
Dude, he's doing a good job there. I'm pretty sure they're bowl eligible, aren't they?
Yeah, who knows? He might be the next head coach at Arkansas.
Shout out, actually, they're ranked second in the Mountain West right now.
That's impressive. That's sneakily they did it too.
6-1, 3-0 in conference.
A sneaky 6-1. How sneaky is that 6-1?
It's very sneaky.
Very sneaky.
God damn, they covered against Michigan too. You love UNLV. 2 votes, Chase. Speaking of covering, Rutgers. Rutgers got 2 votes.
How they're not in the top 25 is beyond me.
6-2 Rutgers.
Talk to your kids about a 6-win Rutgers team, parents.
You have to talk about it now because that is going to go away very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, the 6 wins will stay there, but
Bowl bound Rutgers.
It doesn't. Yeah, the rest of their season is whatever. Also receiving 2 votes, Kentucky.
Yeah.
With 3 votes, it's Toledo. You're getting a little Mac love in there.
There you go. There you go, Mac. Way to go. Show up, Mac.
Also sneaky, with 5 votes, Oklahoma State. Watch out.
I'm telling you, we were talking about it in our group chat with Uncle Rico. Just look out because we're gonna finish the regular season, and it's gonna be like UNLV. You're like, when did Oklahoma State go 10-2?
The Big 12 standings are stupid.
Dude,
so obviously it's Oklahoma.
They're 100% gonna go 10-2. I guarantee it at this point.
I really hope they do, and I hope I have a future on them. But I really, just for chaos reasons, want them to win the Big 12 so bad.
Right, go 10-2 and win the Big 12 and knock out.
Just give a middle finger to like Oklahoma, and Texas
both Oklahoma and Texas. That'd be amazing. Yes,
I would love every bit of that.
Yes.
At number 8, our Fresno State Bulldogs receiving not at number 8, but receiving 8 votes.
Man, I think that they should still be like on the cusp of the top 25, if not in the top 25, even though they lost that game at Wyoming.
I believe only one Mountain West team is in the top 25, but we'll see who. With 12 votes, you have Miami, the Hurricane. That was a very fun game they put against Clemson. It was a very stupid game.
Yeah, it was a win though. It was a win.
With 16 votes, K-State, who have looked really good in their last 2 games.
I think they're gonna finish. I think they'll finish in the top 25.
I think so too. They'll probably finish like with 9 wins.
Yeah.
With 17 votes, Libibity, undefeated Libibity.
Let's see. They've already played Jayville State. I think they've already played like the tougher of their schedule. So like they might win a bunch of football games this year. I think.
I think there are. Well, they have a very interesting one. I believe they play Western Kentucky this week.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that game. I think they are clearly probably the best team in the.
Oh my God! I think they have the swaggy amorphous blob helmets for this. Have you seen these?
I have not.
Like each position group has like a posed red amorphous blob doing something like there's a red for the receivers is a red amorphous blob like going out to catch a pass. So, like there's a throwing amorphous blob, there's a kicking amorphous blob, and it's very cartoonish, and it is
I might be betting Western Kentucky this week.
Yeah, I might have to take Western Kentucky on the swaggy helmet angles. I love college football because that is 100% a thing.
That's the only. Yeah, you're not seeing that in the pros. Ever.
No.
Last receiving votes with 34 votes, it's Florida.
I mean, okay, sure, yeah. Okay, whatever.
Now, Chase, we enter the top 25.
This is right where it starts getting stupid every single week. Right at 25 is where it starts getting dumb. That's good. That works. That's good.
24 is stupid. They dropped 6 spots. I would get him out of there. It's USC at 24.
They've a 2-loss.
2-loss USC, and they didn't look good in either of them.
No,
shout out Utah, but still.
Yeah, it's Notre Dame pretty much put the kibosh on that whole second Heisman thing.
And you see a bunch of people. Did you see Emmanuel Acho had a whole tweet today where he was he's like, Caleb Williams should just sit out the rest of the season.
I mean, to be fair, probably.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. No, but you're part of a team, and you should stick. You should still do it. But yeah, I mean, technically, it's one of those things where it's yeah, you're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, I get it, but man, I hate the precedent that sets. But I get it because one injury does cost millions of dollars at that point.
Yeah, completely. No, I mean that's the thing. I'm not going to trash him. I don't know. I think if you're going to trash him, you could trash him on the just okay, sweet universal truth that you're spitting out there. Okay.
Yeah,
great.
I wouldn't trash Caleb Williams for doing that, but I'm going to trash Emmanuel Acho for putting that out into the ether.
Yeah, because and it's not like it's a cold take. It's you say that to be shocking because you know that he's not going to do it. But technically, it would probably be the best thing for him to do in his career. But it's if it's not him this year, it's someone else next year, and I'm sure Emmanuel Acho or Sacho will say roughly the exact same thing about it.
Sacho's too busy covering is he XFL or USFL?
He was XFL.
He was XFL because we always comment on that.
He was too busy. He's too busy gold leafing a few new Blazers for the next XFL season.
23, the other LA school, it's UCLA.
I think they deserve where they're at now.
Their defense is good.
Their defense is good. Their offense, it's just DTR is gone, and so was it Bobo, and so is Charbonnet. Yeah, they're all in the NFL right now. So
great names when you think about it.
They really did between DTR, Bobo, and Charbonnet. You know how sometimes you take a Bobo and then you run out of the roll of Charbonnet, and you're like, DTR.
At 22, it's the Tulane Green Wave, the Squidbillies.
Good on the Squidbillies for fighting back into the top 25. Even though I think that game that they played this weekend was much more close than they wanted it to be or anyone expected it to be.
Interesting match against Rice this week.
Fuck Rice.
21, the Tennessee Volunteers.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think 20s is good for Tennessee.
They're a fair 2-loss team.
Yeah. At 20, speaking of which, Duke. Close.
Dude, if Riley Leonard is in that game, then we're talking about them being on the cusp of the top 10, of the top 5, probably.
With one loss, Duke is probably they're top 10.
Yeah, on just outside the top 5, I say.
At 19, our Air Force.
Here we go in the wild yonder.
They might go. They might not. Air Force might go undefeated.
They might. It's possible. I think they're. We'll have to see what they have left. What do they have left in their Mountain West Conference games? Okay, because
so they play Colorado State this week.
I think they've got Wyoming left.
No, they already played Wyoming. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
So they have. They just played Navy. They have Colorado State, and then they play Army. And then they go to Hawaii. And then they have UNLV at home. And then they play at Boise. That UNLV game before Boise will be interesting, I think.
They very much could be 10-0 going into that UNLV game.
They very easily could.
Yeah.
I wonder what UNLV's looking at for schedule. UNLV's got tough. I think UNLV's got Fresno this week.
Well, I mean,
that'll tell us a lot.
It's a little bit of a reeling Fresno team, though. I mean, you would have. I mean, 2 weeks ago, you would have said that Fresno State could easily be the Mountain West champion too.
Mountain West is an interesting. I think the Mountain West and Sun Belt are two of the most interesting conferences.
The Mountain West could still be one of like 3 teams. I think it's
so.
either going to be Wyoming, Fresno, or Air Force.
Watch out for UNLV.
Watch out for UNLV. Yeah, okay. I guess 4.
18. 4. Louisville.
Just hanging around.
Interesting matchup. They play Duke this week, so that'll be a very interesting, telling game.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Riley Leonard. What's up with him? He was trying to get back into the last game.
17, UNC, North Carolina.
Oh, my God.
Frauds.
Kick them out.
Get them out. 16, the Missouri Tigers. They're good, Chase. I don't know what to tell you. They are pretty good.
I don't know what dimension you're living in, but...
I don't know, because I've watched a couple Missouri games, and to my shocking dismay, they've actually been entertaining to watch.
Maybe that's the shock to me, because I will never watch a Missouri game. Maybe that's why I haven't fucked around and found out yet.
They do play at Georgia this week, so that could very well be coming to an end.
Yeah, I'm not watching that either.
At 15, it's LSU.
Get them the fuck out of there.
They play Bama this week at Bama.
They'll take care of it. That Bama. I think
Bama might be the best team in the SEC. With that defense and without Brock Bowers for Georgia,
dude, it's same shit.
Different
Different year. We're just like, you remember all offseason, we're like, oh, this is the year someone unseats Bama in the West, and it's gonna be some wild card out of the West playing against Georgia. No, it's just gonna be Bama, Georgia again. And probably Bama's gonna beat Georgia, and then they're both gonna be in the playoff, and then Georgia will beat Bama.
I will say this: if LSU does win this, it does give Ole Miss a decent shot.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You forget that one loss Ole Miss is still hanging out there.
Yeah,
around there.
Also, I'm trying to hold on to hope. I don't think any conference is going to get 2 teams in.
Yeah, I think you'll probably get the SEC, Pac-12, Big Ten, and ACC winner.
That's what I would think, because the Big 12 is already. They don't. I think Oklahoma's probably the worst of the unbeaten.
Yeah.
I would probably say if any conference gets left out, it's probably the Big 12. I could very easily see a Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, Washington. That's how it would have to play out.
I think that to me right there, that sounds like the most likely 4. But I could also see Washington losing, and as soon as Washington
and Florida State still dropping a game.
I think if Washington, yeah, I guess they'd kind of go. I think Washington could maybe still lose a game. And
I definitely think they could.
Yeah, I don't know about Florida State though. The glimmer's kind of fallen off of the ACC for me a little bit, where I thought I would have put them as the second toughest conference. Now I kind of think they're starting to soften up a little bit.
That's fair. At 14, Notre Dame.
Their losses have been a couple of heartbreakers.
They have some impressive. That USC win is still pretty impressive in my mind. The absolute domination.
The Duke win.
Duke win's pretty big.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame's a good team. I don't think they're a great team. I think they're a good team. I think fringe top 15 is fine.
Yeah, I think that by the end of the season, if they don't lose anything else, they could be, top 10 heading into their bowl game.
13, the Utes, Utah. Watch out, Pac-12, because the Utah's coming to ruin everybody's season, baby.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like the reason that Washington could still make it in and lose one game is because there's a Ute clause that's okay, you're probably gonna lose to Utah. That's just what the Utes do this time of year.
Especially because I think Utah does play. Obviously, they played USC. They play Oregon this week. I think they also still play Washington.
Yeah.
They do.
Jim.
They do.
Hey, I hear Cam Rising is probably going to play this week.
Out for the season, baby. Finally.
They finally say
said he's done for the season. He's out for the season.
It only took us 8 games for them to be like for them to admit it. What we got?
Shout out Herb.
It was a good weekend, Herb. Big Herb.
At 12, it's Ole Miss.
Yeah, sneakily that good.
Also, I feel like sneakily right now at 11, Oregon State. People haven't been talking about them.
I think that they have fallen off of my radar. They're still just like a one-loss team, aren't they?
Yep, 6-1. The Beavs are 6-1. They play at Arizona this week. Big game.
Who was their loss?
Their loss, I believe, was
USC.
Washington? No, it was Washington State.
Washington State.
Remember, they lost that super close one against Washington State.
That's right. And
they
then
beat Utah.
And then Washington State got blasted by. They beat Utah. Man, yeah, dude, they look really good. Like, that could be such a... I think that whoever wins the Pac-12, just put them in the championship, dude.
I think so too. I think it's, like, so far this year, it's the most competitive conference.
There are a lot of really good one-loss teams sitting right there, waiting.
Oregon,
Utah.
State, Utah.
Yeah. Oregon State. Yeah.
I think UCLA's good too.
UCLA. There are all those really good one-loss teams that, like, if any team survives the rest of this Pac-12 season with just one loss or 0 losses, there's no way you can keep them out.
No shot. Even the Arizona schools are coming on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a really strong, fun conference to watch for decades to come, and I can't wait for more Pac-12 football.
Is here.
Isn't this just such? Like at the same,
it's so bittersweet.
We're happy they're getting it, but at the same time, it's very like, it's a very Chip Kelly like weak ejaculation.
Yeah, it's like you've been edging for just days, and then all of a sudden, like you don't get to like come how you want. You just rub up on something wrong, and you fill your pants.
Yeah, and
it's like a grocery store.
It's not the whole just like like seltzer jettison you're hoping for.
Yeah, it's not the fire hose you want. It's like the faucet drip.
It's like a single tear falling from a very sad clown.
Shout out the Pornhub category ruined orgasm.
What Jim Nance does to Tony Romo every weekend.
At number 10, speaking of ruined orgasms, at number 10, it's Penn State.
Oh my God! This is me for like the 5th or 6th year in a row now, probably being like, this is the year that Penn State beats Ohio State. And it's just, it will never work. Like,
this is James Franklin's ceiling.
At what point do you get tired of this as a Penn State fan and you try to find someone who can like get over that hump?
They're in that fucking conundrum spot though, because they are a really good team.
Because they're winning like 9 or 10 games, right?
Every year.
How can you not be happy with that? But how can you be happy with that?
And their defense is good. Like, I still posit their defense is good. Their offense was not.
I can't think of anything more frustrating, though, than being a fan of the perpetual, like, 9-10 win, 9 or 10 win team.
I was there when Bo Pelini was just winning 9 games every year.
Yeah, man.
Because you're not bad enough that you can justify really just firing the guy, but you're never going to do anything.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to win 9 wins is never going to win you a national championship. Like, you're going to go to the Outback Bowl. All right.
You think with like the expanded playoffs, with Penn State being 10-2 so often, they might like sneak into the playoffs a decent amount?
We got oil changes and the swag bag at the Tax Slayer Bowl. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I said, you think with the expanded playoffs, the Penn States of the world might actually like keep coaches longer because they'll be making the playoffs more often?
Yes. Yeah. Because I think that's
like another benchmark you can like posit that you're right there. You're there.
Yeah, because I mean it's like NCAA basketball coaches think of how long you'll be held on to for like 1 or 2 good like deep playoff runs, and then just like if you just continually can get into the tournament, if you can continually get in the tournament, like Penn State will be like a fringe get into the tournament team, like probably
every year,
probably close to every single year. there will be one of these West Coast teams that will be, like USC. USC will always be fringe.
Yep.
Well, they might. Oregon's a perfect example. Yes. Yeah, man. Or I don't know.
Maybe like a Tennessee recently could do it.
You're gonna have somebody take like a Mountain West team on a deep run and he's gonna end up that coach is gonna end up making millions upon millions of dollars the very next day, probably after they get eliminated.
At number 9, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I think they keep getting better, dude.
They're getting better throughout the season. And this game against Tennessee in particular was way different because they actually looked fantastic in the second half.
I thought
they haven't all year.
Tommy Rees. I thought the offense hadn't been working because Tommy Rees hadn't been disgraced yet. And I think what happened was like they looked so bad earlier in the year that it was disgracing him.
It was a long-term disgrace.
Yeah, it was they were so bad at the very beginning of the season that it's like boom, he got his disgrace in, and now they're doing good.
At number 8, Oregon, the Ducks.
I mean, their coach has that SDE, but they're pretty good. Yeah.
At Utah this week, watch out. A lot of banger games this week. This is a good week.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it is. 7, Texas.
Oh man, listen. They should not have won. They should not have won against Houston.
They should not have beaten Houston.
They should not have beaten against.
We'll get into that one. There's a couple games that were like,
yes,
they should not.
Let's get through the rest of the time.
6, Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Number 5, Washington. Struggle against Arizona State, which I didn't know, by the way. I think Washington in like the last 8 years only has like 1 win against Arizona State.
Yeah, they should. They're going to be like with 3 other teams and just a constant rotation between like the 3, 4, 5 spot, I think.
Yep, 4 Florida State.
Yep.
3 Ohio State.
Yep.
2 Michigan, 1 Georgia. I am excited next week when we see the playoff prediction. I could very easily see Ohio State number 1 in the playoff selection.
I think to be edgy, they're going to put Michigan number 1.
I could see it.
I think just to be edgy, like with literally for the lulls,
if
like
they
with
all
all
this,
this,
really edgy,
this
they should
shit
just put
going
Alabama
on.
number 1.
That would be super edgy. That would be like, yeah, that would be like angsty teenage punk album edgy. Okay.
You ready to get into the games? Recap these, Chase?
Let's go, buddy.
Most of these only require 1 word, but if you want to go more in depth, we'll go more in depth. Liberty 42, Middle Tennessee 35.
Underwhelming.
Cover. Jacksonville State 20, Western Kentucky 17. Rich Rod, baby.
Banger of a football game. Dude, talk to your kids about a 6-2 Jayville State. That's what
they
I'm
can't
the
go
most.
to a bowl either, can they?
Nope, but this is what I'm most proud of all of my win totals for the off season.
Yeah, you were really strong on this one.
I said that they might win 10 games, didn't I?
You did. You did argue.
I think I did. I'll have to go back and see, but I think I said they might win 10 games.
South Alabama 55, Southern Miss 3. Garbage.
Yes.
FIU 33, Sam Houston 27. Sam Houston might be the worst team.
Yeah, I don't know how I got FIU on the money line plus money in that game.
You know what? I don't either.
Yeah.
New Mexico State 28, UTEP 7.
Yeah, that was a winner. At that point, I was 5-0 in my 8-team midweek parlay.
We had a great midweek last week in betting.
I've been midweek. Malik has been nothing but winners during the middle of the week as of late. It's Saturdays and Sundays, which are god awful.
Also, I do want to shoot my shot. Watch out, New Mexico State's 3-1 in conference, 5-3. They actually have a shot to win the CUSA.
Yeah, dude, a lot of people have a shot to win the CUSA.
It's the CUSA.
Yeah.
Rice 42, Tulsa 10.
This is what busted it up, and we knew it was going to happen, so I took the cash out.
It was a smart move. Rice looked way better.
Yep.
JMU 20, Marshall 9. JMU, I'm so pissed.
So that would have been a hit, which would have been frustrating for the parlay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like JMU is the best team in the Sun Belt. They're one of the top 3 Group of 5 teams, and they can't do anything.
No, it's just dumb. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like it should be the other way. It should be for a team dropping out of FBS into FCS. Like those are the ones that shouldn't have any sort of postseason play or anything.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like if JMU comes up to FBS and then in like 3 or 4 years drops down to FCS, punish them then.
Yeah, like imagine playing a video game at home and beating the big boss and just having to start the level over until you do it 2 times in a row.
That's like Ghosts and Goblins in the arcade. You beat the game, and then your reward for beating the game is you have to play the game over again on a harder difficulty.
Oh, congrats.
It's sick. SMU 55, Temple 0.
So I for real 7 of 8'd midweek on money line.
You had a great midweek.
Yeah. Old midweek Malik. I mean, it was what we expected.
Yeah, Temple is so bad.
Terrible.
Memphis 45, UAB 21.
Winner of them rib bones.
Damn right.
I was in Memphis, shocked how few people were talking about the battle for the rib bones trophy.
No one was talking about it.
No one said a word at a Friday night thing or a actual like during the game on Saturday thing. No one said a fucking word about the rib bones.
I'm disappointed.
Disappointing.
Air Force 17, Navy 6.
A lot closer than I thought it was going to be. You were dead on with that under. I thought it was going to be another one of those crazy like Air Force over games. But I think Navy probably really slowed it down. But Air Force handles business, man. They're going to win that old, Commander-in-Chief Cup or whatever it is.
They very much will. I also wonder when they're going to get their... I think their starting quarterback might have played a little bit in this game. I only caught a little bit of Air Force Navy.
But they need him like full speed. He's dangerous.
State 7, Arkansas 3.
I didn't get to...
Fire Josie?
Yeah, you had to kind of figure that someone was going to get fired, and usually when the OC goes, the coach gets to stick around for another year.
I was going to say, you think he's around for another year? Because I saw a bunch of people posting about Pittman being like on their top 10 hot seat candidates.
It's what, his 4th year? 3rd actual year after COVID? I don't know.
My only worry with him is like how bad the offensive lines looked. And that's like supposed to be his thing.
They were young. Like they're all
young.
pretty
I think
young.
you give him another year. And he's like, I love
the man.
I love him in Arkansas.
Yeah. I think that maybe just like it wasn't a match of a coaching hire with Enos. Like I attribute a lot of this. Like, yeah, our offensive line wasn't great, but like there was absolutely no like effort to hide it.
Yeah.
like if you got like if I'm gonna get into a fight with you and I've got a little bitty baby arm, like if I got like a regular arm, then another arm that's like a baby arm, like it's like
like you guys look good with Bryles.
Yeah, then I'm not gonna come out swinging. Throwing jabs with the baby arm. Like, I'm not going to be like, this is my problem. This is the issue that I have. And take advantage of it. And that's exactly what Dan Enos' fucking play calling was like. He was like, let's do these really long developing routes, like with some play actions and stuff. Like play action, I need you to like really sell that you don't have the ball for 5 seconds. Meanwhile, like you're waiting for someone to like make the right decision to either run the corner or the post at the top, and it's like by this time he's been sacked. Yeah. Like it just yeah.
You basically need KJ to be a superhero every play.
He needs to go back to the Nick Saban Danny needs to go back to the Nick Saban rehab process. I think he needs to like knock a offensive coordinator like hire out of the park because they do have some really good players on deck and I really don't want to lose what they've got. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I also am very like okay with who we are, which is can we just make a bowl game every year? That's all I want. Like a nice bowl game is awesome, but like even just like a 6-6, like can we just make a bowl game every year? That's all I want. That's all I expect. That's all we're ever gonna have.
I'll also tell you this: for the most part, You guys are every game is at least close and exciting.
That's the thing is we've lost so many close games over the last 2 years. If you think of what our record would be if you flipped all of our like one score losses to a win. Over the last 2 years, we would have won like close to 20 games by now.
We'd still have Scott Frost as a coach if that were the case for Nebraska.
Dude. Okay, yeah.
Ohio State 20, Penn State 12. Penn State just couldn't do anything offensively. Both these teams, I came away, like, the defenses are great, and we talked about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
This is just who Penn State is.
What is it Gus was yelling about this game? Maserati Marv? Is that his?
I love Gus. Too much.
Too much Maserati. See, I didn't get to watch this game. I was driving. I was at that brunch thing / driving back from Memphis. And the thing about my wife is she's a lovely woman and the mother of my children, but she gives really bad updates about how a game is going based off of the data stream on like a Google or like ESPN. She's bad at verbally relaying that to a driver.
Gus was like he went too far with the like he just wouldn't stop at the Maserati. Wouldn't stop.
Does he drive? Does Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think he does drive a Maserati.
Okay. Does he shoot people in the hand at a car wash like his dad?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, me too. Because when it's about to, when you have to get bout it at a car wash in South Philly, like you better shoot somebody in the hand.
Rutgers 31, Indiana 14. Rutgers is going bowling, dude. And they cover again.
I feel like we called this. I want to say we called this. I'm not sure if I was on the Big Ten show, but what we got there?
That's for you shooting someone in the hand.
Bang. Marvin Harrison, hand shot. Get out of my car wash.
Go Rutgers.
Go Rutgers, man. I hope it's pandemonium in Piscataway. You've won 6 games, and you did it in 8 games. It wasn't even a sweat that you made the bowl, man. That's awesome.
Boston College 38, Georgia Tech 23.
Ugh.
The worst part is Haynes King even looked good in this game.
The worst part was I was on this under.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Baylor 32, Cincinnati 29. Also, this is basically a battle for who's the worst team in the Big 12.
Yeah, didn't care.
And it was Cincinnati. Oklahoma 31, UCF 29.
Good.
It was close, Chase. UCF almost won it.
Don't care. Good.
Ohio 20, Western Michigan 17.
Ohio 20, Western Michigan 17.
Shout out Western Michigan for keeping it close against Ohio. Like Western Michigan might be one of the worst teams in the MAC to our. I mean, they're hard, but still.
How about the turnaround for Ohio though, dude? Like Ohio looked bad without Rourke at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Charlotte 10, ECU 7. The Click gets it done, boys.
We built this city. On Biff Poggi dubs.
Oh God, he's got to just celebrate so hard for every single dub because they're not easy to come by in Charlotte.
Do you understand how upset I am that like I looked at that Charlotte game and I thought I should sprinkle on the money line there a little bit, and I just did not pull the trigger.
Oh, brutal. Georgia Southern 38, ULM 28.
Dude, we have to see what ULM's record against the spread is because I think it might be prodigious this year.
It's gotta be pretty decent.
I think they're definitely above 500, if not like 5-1, 6-1, something like that.
I also think that Georgia Southern, not Georgia State, but Georgia Southern is like they're an all or nothing team. ULM 4-3-0 against ATS.
Yeah.
4-3.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a team like that.
Bowling Green 41, Akron 14. I talked about this with Eric. I think he said in the group chat. Basically, once Akron's starting quarterback got knocked out for the season, this team was cooked.
Yeah. It's insane that I have because they haven't started doing weeknight action, I have not gotten to get a feel for this year's MAC yet. I have no idea who's good, who's not. It's because they all play incredibly difficult games against teams that are way better than them early in the season, and now they get to play against each other. It's like, how do we figure this
The
out?
top 2 played last week. It was Toledo, Miami. Those are your top 2 MAC teams right now.
Who did anyone anticipate Miami being in that mix?
I think I got a future on them.
Yeah, I didn't. I was not anywhere near it.
But yeah, I think either next week or 2 weeks from now, midweek action is back.
Yes.
And we can celebrate. Speaking of which, Ball State 24, Central Michigan 17. This was not a great week for our directional Mich.
Not good for directional Mich at all.
No, because Eastern also lost. Buffalo 24, Kent State 6, whatever. Tulane 35, North Texas 28. UNT keeping it close.
You know, and this is another one where I thought about taking UNT plus the points, but also, they are dead to me since they got rid of Seth Luttrell, so I skipped it.
Sometimes you have to keep people out of your heart. NIU 20, Eastern Michigan 13. I did take our Eastern Michigan team.
Get low with it. Get loose with it. If you're a skinny girl, let Bruce hit it.
And he did hit it. Oregon 38, Washington State 24. Competitive.
I kind of exactly how I thought it was going to finish. About two touchdowns, which is a competitive game in the Pac-12. You know,
it was close throughout.
Like 2 scores ain't shit in a Pac-12
game. No, you can get that in like nothing with those offenses.
Yeah, and they've kind of they're like Big 12 in their heyday, like really good offenses and some kind of piss poor defenses.
Yeah. Oklahoma State 48, West Virginia 34.
They're gonna win.
Cowboys get it done on the mountain.
They're gonna win 10 games this year, Jim.
I really hope so, dude. With the start that they had.
Oh yeah, everyone gave up.
That's when they're most dangerous.
They're gonna win 10 games and somehow not be in the top 25 because it will still have shocked everybody in the nation.
Yeah, because they still have that Illinois State loss.
Ugh.
Wake Forest 21, Pitt 17.
How is this not the easiest call of the week?
After Pitt beats Louisville?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 good things cannot happen in a row for Pitt.
It's been a good 2-week stretch for us with Pitt games as you know, football handicappers, because we hammer them in the win spot and then we hammer them in the lose spot too against Wake Forest. Love it. Love it.
Wisconsin 25, Illinois 21. Almost Burt.
I thought this was a dirty Burtoning that almost went down here, but they look at air raid Wisconsin, you know,
the dairy raid, baby.
Marching it down the field at the end.
Sitting on top of the Big Ten West. Illinois, actually, surprisingly to me, because I actually thought they would be good this year, bottom of the division.
They have a bunch of reverse Burtonings coming now because they're gonna win next week because they burnt
rolled them off.
Yeah, it's all a matter of if they burnt or if they burnt themselves. Like,
if they burnt themselves the whole season, does that build up enough burnt for next season to just go crazy?
Oh, for just nothing but outward burnings the entire season? Possibly.
Maybe that's the play. You just, like, every other year, you're just fantastic at destroying everyone else.
So you just tantrically burnt inward?
Yes.
For a year so that you can explosively burn outward for another year. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I think that's how you win national championships.
I think so. I think that's the only way you can win a natty in Illinois.
Turn your bird inward.
USF 24, UConn 21. Who cares?
That's my mantra. Turn your bird inward. Hold on. What are we talking about?
I just said USF 24, UConn 21, but who cares? And then we're
who cares?
On.
Yeah.
Alabama 34, Tennessee 20. Tennessee, let 27 unanswered points in the second half?
Yep. Had them beat. And they let them off the hook.
Can't do that, Tennessee.
You want to crown their ass, crown them.
Yeah, you can't.
They are who we thought they were. Didn't
score a single point in the second half, Tennessee?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was like they're not only that, I think it was Alabama's defense that really kind of poured it on for them too.
Fucking legit.
Yeah. Yeah. Turns out.
Like, the offense still isn't everything. Like, the offense, I still wouldn't say is fantastic. That defense is so good.
Turns out, Jim.
Turns out when you recruit really good players, really good things happen.
All I'm saying is turns out, man. That's my favorite is I love the new I call it the dangling turns out. You just let the imagination
I like it.
fill
You just
in.
can fill in the blank.
Yeah. Turns out.
Missouri 34, South Carolina 12.
I was really hoping that you would. It feels like classically like South Carolina wins this game for some reason. So that's kind of what I was banking on. But I've told you, like, I don't watch Missouri games. So.
And they're good.
No, they're not.
I
mean, maybe, but I'll never watch.
They're the
Missouri
second
game.
best team in the SEC East. How about that?
Okay, fair. Whatever.
Nebraska 17, Northwestern 9. Nebraska started this game with, I believe, 2 interceptions, basically, to start.
Got to win your clunkers too, though, Jim.
We do, and every game Nebraska plays is a clunker. That defense is salty, though. The Nebraska defense is salty.
What's the? Give me an update on the march to 6 wins.
We got 2. We're at 4 wins right now. We just need 2 more, and then we're a bowl team.
Must be nice.
Nebraska right now, actually, at 2-2 in conference, is kind of a little bit tight. We're in 4th place right now in the Big Ten West.
Must be fucking nice.
It's the worst division in football, but I also do have something. I had something bookmarked on Twitter because, like every Nebraska game, there were injuries after this one, Chase. So as of now, Nebraska lost Ethan Piper, Turner Corcoran, Billy Kemp, and Tommy Hill. Half of those guys out for the season. So as of now, Nebraska is out 2 of their 3 running backs, like top running backs.
Yep.
4 out of our 5 top wide receivers are out for the season. And 3 out of 5 of our starting offensive line are out.
It's
So it's been a hell of a season.
That's tough.
Matt Rule did come out and say, not this week, but last week, he's never had a team with so many injuries.
So, question for you. If you transplant Arkansas into the Big Ten West for
They are
Nebraska,
the number 1 team in the Big Ten West.
Are you serious?
I am not. Maybe the Iowa defense can, like, get pressure on KJ.
Yeah. But you think that they would be?
I think they would be easily the number 1 team in the Big Ten West.
Yeah.
It's the worst division in college football. Like,
Dope,
maybe they'd be
dope.
behind, like, maybe. Like, it'd be close, I think, between Iowa's defense and Arkansas, like, as a team. That would be a very close game. It'd be ugly and close, like every Iowa game.
Yeah.
But I do believe Arkansas would make, like, the Big Ten championship if they were in the West.
All right.
There's not a lot of teams you could tell me that would be in the Big Ten West, and I say wouldn't be, like, number 1 or very competitive.
That's fair.
I think Cal would be pretty competitive in the Big Ten West.
That's true. They can light up scoreboard by Big Ten West comparison.
Speaking of which, Minnesota 12, Iowa 10. Was this the most controversial game of the day? Did you see the end?
I didn't see the end. This is another one where I was, like, traveling.
So the whole thing is, obviously this is an Iowa game, and when you play the style of football that Iowa plays, your margin of error is so razor thin, you can't do anything. So basically there's like 2 minutes left. Minnesota punts the ball because the only way Iowa can score points...
that's right. They had their punt touchdown called back. That's right.
Yep, so he's doing the whole... He's like pointing at the ball and then like running with his hand kind of like this, where his arm is like spinning.
Yeah.
He catches it, runs for the touchdown. They review it to see if he stepped out of bounds. And then during the review, they determined he made an illegal fair catch call. The ball was dead where he caught it. Iowa eventually, obviously, their offense can't do anything, cannot march down the field.
No, they don't march anywhere. No, they need to be airdropped.
I've never heard of an illegal fair catch call.
Listen,
I'd never heard of that before.
What is is it sustainable to keep betting Iowa unders?
I think so, Chase. This game was not, so the under opened, the total opened at what, 34.5?
And it closed at like 31.5.
30. It closed at 30 and a half, and it
And
didn't
we got
even get close.
and we got 22 out of
We
it.
got 22 points.
They've only gone over once, I think.
You cannot make this total low enough.
I've said the lowest number I feel comfortable still taking an under in an Iowa game is 4.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll even if they go down to 4, I'll take the under 4.
Speaking of Rob, though, Texas 31, Houston 24.
Jesus, Dana, what are you
pissed?
Still, Dana, what were you thinking? Like your play call was just bad to end that game. You should have won that game if not for your play calling. It was just bad.
Quinn Ewers also out for at least, I believe, like 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I saw that someone else was getting the start on Saturday.
Toledo 21, Miami of Ohio 17. This was the big MAC game of the weekend. I really wish they would just put like the big headliner MAC games on like a Friday at least.
Yeah.
So that people would watch it more.
Did you legit watch this?
No.
Yeah, me either.
That's the issue. So like even when you put on like the YouTube TV does the quad box.
Yeah.
The multi-view.
Yeah.
It's impossible to find like the MAC games because they're all on ESPN Plus and shit like that.
Right.
So like, I wish the conferences like the MAC would put their big marquee games on like a Friday night, where like you're the big game of the day. Then you're not getting outshined.
Yeah,
by everything else.
Listen, like now that they're doing weekday games, like I don't know why you would play another game on a Saturday, like in the MAC. I would literally only play weekday games for the rest of the year. Same.
That way you get like that publicity.
Yeah.
UTSA 36, FAU 10. Cool.
Good for UTSA. It's a program that we are very fond of that has fallen on hard times this year.
It's been a very disappointing year for UTSA.
Yep.
New Mexico 42, Hawaii 21. I was very wrong about this one. I thought New Mexico was terrible and cooked. Hawaii is also terrible and more cooked.
Yeah, I was all over this one as an easy cover because I think New Mexico was a 1-point favorite.
Yeah, they were because they had been looking really, really bad. And to like Hawaii's credit, they've been looking better this year for the most part until this game.
Yeah, that was one that I wanted to put in a round robin for the entire weekend.
Virginia 31, North Carolina 27. Mac does it again, folks.
Frauds.
I still think like obviously the offense is good. And obviously they could still maybe win the ACC.
Yeah.
They're not stopping nobody.
No.
Ole Miss 28, Auburn 21.
It feels okay to cheer for Ole Miss in this spot. Feels really good for Auburn not to win.
Yes.
Everything's right in the world.
There you go. Kansas State 41, TCU 3. Yeah, baby. K-State, they've got their new quarterback in, Avery Johnson. 4-star recruit out of Kansas. The guy is a stud. He's also been running over teams like crazy.
Didn't he wasn't he the head coach at Alabama for men's basketball too? Didn't he play in the NBA for a long time?
I think he might have.
Avery Johnson? Yeah. I don't know. I think Sonny Dykes is really interesting because I think we're going to find out what happens whenever like you are able to go like all in on the transfer portal and make a championship run and then can't match the success for another like 2 years or so. I
think TCU will be good. I think they'll be all right. It'll just take them a little while to build up again.
Yeah, but like say you had a dog shit season this year. Like, what happens if he has another one after he made that first year run on like the transfer, all in on the transfer portal? Like, what happens if they have another bad year and the boosters look at their roster and say, "There's nothing here. Like, he's gone."
That's true.
Like, it's a real interest. Like, we haven't really seen like a case of that yet. Like, what happens yet?
It's gonna be interesting to track how TCU does in the next few years because I like Sonny Dykes a lot as a coach.
Sure.
BYU 27, Texas Tech 14.
Had this one.
Yeah, so did I.
They catch everything, dude.
They do.
They
When they're
catch
on,
everything.
it's so frustrating if you were like against them.
Yeah, man, because you'll have them like stopped at like third and like 23, and though suddenly they will catch everything. It will get knocked in the air and tipped 3 times, and they'll catch everything for a first down.
Disgusting. ODU 28, App State 21. App State's doing it again, everybody. Just so everyone knows, they play in like super fun games where they like it's all one-score games that they can either win or lose. Shout out ODU, I guess.
Yeah, man. Like I'm taking the points.
I was almost on this one.
For anything that's more than 7 points against App State, I'm taking the points, man.
Same. Coastal 27, Arkansas State 17. You know what? More competitive than I thought Arkansas State would be. They've actually still looked better since the quarterback. Since they found
Yeah.
him.
Also, they might have killed Grayson McCall.
May have.
Still no proof of life that Grayson McCall is alive after this game.
UNLV 25, Colorado State 23. Watch out for fucking UNLV and the bowl-eligible Rebels.
They run, but they run so quietly on cat's feet.
God, I love this team. San Jose State 42, Utah State 21.
That's what... That San Jose State team's not that good.
They are not.
No.
LSU 62, Army 0. On the college football tailgate, kind of thought Army could do something against this LSU defense. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I just like super wrong on this game.
Did Harold Perkins just go bananas on them? I'm sure he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Another blowout, though. Michigan 49, Michigan State 0.
Yeah, I was on Michigan State in this one. Sprinkled on the money line as well as gets the points because
I feel like the cheating allegations just made Michigan stronger.
Yeah, it's weird. But it's still like.
Did you see that more stuff came out recently?
Oh yeah,
they had that staff member that bought tickets so they could see both sidelines.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. No, man, come on, like, for the love of God, last time they played, like, people caught a case.
Yeah.
Like, so I kind of figured that there would, it would be one of those, like, those chippy but close rivalry games. It was chippy. It wasn't close, though.
Also, shout out Michigan State for showing a picture of Hitler.
Yeah, Jesus, just what is wrong with that? Is the entire place on like an Indian burial ground? Like, what have you done to just be so bad at life?
I'm trying to see. So, an initial assessment was conducted, and an involved employee has been identified and suspended with pay pending the results of investigation.
Just why? Like, I can't even remember what the context was.
It was a quiz game before. So like how like college stadiums will do like quiz stuff on their scoreboards,
because people love getting it right and just yelling Hitler during quizzes, like the ones at the show before the movies. What the hell, dude?
I'm trying to see what the actual question was that would cause that to like pull up.
So
okay, so this is here's the question, Chase. Michigan State streamed the quiz channel, which had 40 questions in its latest video, including just asking, "Where was Hitler born?" That was the question.
Oh, Austria?
Yeah, the answer was Austria, but
yeah, maybe you should vet those questions before you show them on your jumbotron. Just a thought.
Michigan State is a comedy of errors.
Just a comedy. So they've employed the most like prodigious diddler. They've employed the cell phone in a different state telephone jerker, and now Hitler on the Megatron on the jumbotron.
Think about Michigan State like what?
Great.
Years ago? Like,
can't believe it, dude.
D'Antonio, could you imagine something like this happen?
Dude, it would have killed D'Antonio. He would have one of those heart attacks would have taken him straight up to Jesus, dude.
Michigan 38, Duke 20.
Yeah.
It was a shame. I think Florida State was the better team.
I'll tell you what, though. I think if Riley Leonard is healthy for that entire game, I think the Duke wins.
I think it's close. I think Duke could very easily win. Duke's defense is good. Like the 38 points is a lot to give up, but this Florida State offense is hard to stop.
I think they've got one of the big boy defenses. I think I can think of that are just they move extremely fast and they hit extremely hard.
Georgia State 20, Louisiana 17. Good on Georgia State also being a very good and competitive team with a very decent shot to win the Sun Belt this year.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Miami 28, Clemson 20. And what how many overtimes did this go to? Just one?
I'm not sure.
Whatever. Dabo's stupid.
Yeah, man, they're not going to be a thing. They're not going to be a thing in like 2 years.
Quarterback under the bus.
Yeah, of course. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got such a bad, just crappy attitude, and like he's so bad with NIL and the portal. Like they're not going to be a thing in a couple of years.
Utah 34, USC 32. Kyle Whittingham, by the way, is just a fucking great coach. Like Utah is kind of doing this with paper bags.
Yeah.
And nobody back there. Like they have injuries all over. Not to mention their quarterback situation.
Right.
4 in a row against USC for the Utes.
Who scoops him up? When he's eventually going to go somewhere, right?
I don't think he's been there for how long is he? He's been there forever, dude.
Yeah, I know, but like now he's starting to consistently put these teams like in the Rose Bowl every single year. You know, like someone who can pay more than Utah is going to scoop him up. Where's he from originally? Is he from Utah?
That's what I'm trying to look for right now. Yeah, he went to BYU.
He went to BYU, so
he's
maybe
from he went to high school in Provo.
Maybe BYU. Maybe if the BYU like Sataki or whatever his name is.
Maybe, but to be fair, Chase, he's been at Utah. So as a coach, I'm just looking right here.
I'm sure
he was the D-line coach at Utah in 1994.
Yeah, okay.
I think he might be a Utah lifer.
He might be a Ute, just a Ute.
He's been the head. Yeah. When do you think he was the head coach?
2009.
Close. 2005.
You know, he's been the head coach.
He's got to be like one of the highest, longest tenured.
Yeah, him and Ferentz.
He's number two behind Kirk Ferentz. That's it.
Yeah. I'm glad that we were all over that.
It's him, Kirk Ferentz. He's tied with Mike Gundy.
I'll tell you what, I
love Kyle Whittingham. I love this Utah team.
I'm not going to lie. Like, it's been recently that I finally figured out that he is not Tyrone Willingham. That's kind of who I always thought. I was like, oh, he's doing well in Utah. He didn't strike me as a Utah guy, but okay.
And also, like, Cam Rising could be coming back next year, which is just so funny.
Are you kidding me? Really?
I think he's medically redshirting right now.
If
he doesn't go for the draft, then yeah, he could definitely come back and play another year at Utah.
I don't think he can legally, like, I think he's old enough that he can't be drafted into the military, Jim.
He's 24 this year.
Okay, he can still be drafted into the military. I thought he was like 36. I thought he was like Brandon Wheaton old.
Do you know where he was recruited to? Texas. In 2018.
How old?
This is his 6th year. So, yeah, you can see Cam Rising for a year 7.
They're going to start capping this off eventually,
well, no,
right?
Because like, eventually the COVID kids will be done. Eventually.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, how many more years of this do we have to...
Well, you got to think, so it's kids that, like, you would think kids that came in 2017, the super seniors still would have had a COVID year. Cam Rising in 2018, he's going to go on year 7 now, potentially.
Jesus Christ.
So then you got to think about everyone who was recruited in 2019, and then all the kids recruited in 2020 that all get COVID years.
Dude, I remember when Cody Walker got a 6th year at Arkansas, and that blew my mind. Like, I don't... You should... Okay, so they talk about how, like, being paid, back in the day, they were saying being paid for football was like getting a degree. Like that was the big, oh, we don't have to pay you money, you get degrees. Like, but for real, if you've been in college for 7 fucking years and you don't have like an MBA or something, you can like make something out of yourself. Because listen, if you've been in college for 7 years, I'm here to tell you the league probably ain't for you.
That's why they've been in college so long, dude.
That's right. Now you can see, now they can at least like make some money and everything. But like, if they didn't have NIL and they didn't, it's like, oh, well, Cam Rising just got his fucking law degree and he's interning with the Cochran law firm this summer.
It'll just be like that Clemson player they grabbed off of Wall Street.
Yeah. That missed that kick against Florida State. God bless him, by the way. Ka-ching.
Nevada 6. Before we go along with that, though, this is just who Lincoln Riley is, by the way.
Yeah, he is that dude. He is that dude.
Nevada 6, San Diego State 0. It might be Brady Hoke's time. I don't know.
Yeah, he just needs to retire. They just need to peacefully send him elsewhere.
UCLA 42, Stanford 7. Yeah.
Just a dad dicking and then a weak ejaculation.
Washington 15, Arizona State 7.
Washington 15, Arizona. I can't believe that they made it that close, but good on them for doing it.
Arizona State plays the fuck out of Washington. I don't know what it is.
And Washington's just going to get everybody's best shot now until the end of the season. So
I think they're going to be all right, kind of coasting for a little bit until they play Utah.
Yeah, and Utah's going to fuck everything up, right? That's how it's going to go down,
That's how Utah always does it. Utah's going to fuck it up. They're going to go to the Pac-12 championship game.
Yep.
If Utah wins out, I think they should get in the playoffs. Fuck it.
I'm with you too. Like
a one-loss Utah, yeah.
But here's the deal. Like, we were talking about it. We said we really like one-loss Pac-12 team to still get in. But do you think they still put them in even if it's Utah?
No, the committee probably won't. I mean, their only loss is what? They have a loss to Oregon State, and that's it?
Yeah, like I think if it were like Washington, if it were like Oregon, if it were UCLA, if it were like any other Pac-12 team than Utah, they would still like. I feel like they, for some reason, that committee is always just kind of like fuck Utah, man.
Especially when people talk about like, oh, they don't even have Cam Rising, they don't have that.
Yeah,
I don't care. They're one of the best coach teams in football.
Agree, burger.
Now, Chase, it's time for the NFL.
I actually watched a lot of the NFL because I figured out that I have Red Zone now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I've watched Red Zone the last 2 Sundays.
Jags 31, Saints 24.
Hate to see it. That I'm hoping that maybe what the Saints were able to do on offense, like when they increased the tempo and went to the hurry up when they were down late in the game to come back and tie this thing, that they can carry this forward to the next game. Maybe they got a little groove with going like the hurry up, call the place from the one. Yeah, because the offense has been really, really bad, and they've been kicking way too many field goals. So it sucks that they lost. I can't believe Trevor Lawrence, I guess, good for him getting his first win in the Superdome.
He looks good.
Yeah, but his
pretty good.
His first career, like every other time he's played in the Superdome, he's gotten just ass blasted by an SEC team.
Ravens 38, Lions 6. It wasn't even that close.
Holy.
Oh my God.
Holy. I was on the wrong side of this one.
Didn't touch a side in this one. This was like MVP level Lamar.
Jesus.
And the Lions couldn't do jack shit.
Dude, he threw for like 300 yards and like 5 touchdowns by like the third quarter, dude. It was ridiculous. Yeah, and they could not do anything except they started giving Jahmyr Gibbs the ball and he finally scores touchdowns. As Pete signed a angry person who drafted Jahmyr Gibbs probably way earlier than he should have.
Yeah, I'm going to say shake it off, Detroit. I still think the Lions are a good team. This did kind of show 2 things to me. We'll talk about it more with the Dolphins too. Aside from that Kansas City win, Detroit's wins haven't come over the best teams.
No. And to be fair, like there have been a couple teams this season who I guess what they say September is a liar. Like
it's fair.
Who haven't played the best teams yet, so we'll see.
Bears 30, Vegas, the Raiders 12.
Dude,
McDaniels is the worst coach, right?
Yeah, he is, but look out for Justin Fields. Like, might not have a starting job if this was it
D2, baby.
Tyler Bajonet, is that his name?
Badgett, I think Tyler Badgett.
Badgett, yeah. Tyler Badgett. Dude, he looked really good.
He looked really good.
It might be one of those things that now they have tape on him, and
he could look good for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then just be.
Yeah, but if he looks good for like 2 or 3 weeks, like
he might. I think he's a solid backup.
I think that like they'll use they would love to trade away Justin Fields and like maybe get like the top like 3 picks this year.
How insane would it be to be a team that has the top 3 picks?
Well, not have the top 3 picks, but have like 2 of the top 3 picks.
How crazy would that be, though?
You could draft 2 like franchise changers in the same year,
or you could trade some of them for all the picks in the previous. Like, what if you just trade your first 3 picks this year for all the picks next year?
No, listen. if I'm the Bears, and what I do with my 2 picks in the top 3 is you got to get a top flight offensive lineman to protect KJ Jefferson, who you get with the next pick.
Do you really want KJ to go to the Bears?
Fuck yes.
Under Coach Harbaugh?
Oh God, no. Yeah, no, that's not. I mean, under someone who's not Harbaugh, yes.
My last takeaway for the Raiders Bears is I still am baffled that the Raiders decided to get rid of Pisaccia.
Yeah, me too. And just like
he had them in the playoffs, like.
Man, what's crazy is how much the Las Vegas team just looks like the Patriots B squad for the last few years with Brian Hoyer starting and everything. God, Brian Hoyer, he's so bald. He is so bald. How do you start that man? Bald. How do you start someone that aggressively bald?
Browns 39, Colts 38.
What a banger of a football game.
Great game.
Miles Garrett is a fucking alien.
I love Myles Garrett so much.
Did you see him just jump over everybody to block that field goal? Are you kidding me?
It was so good.
Dude, he's an absolute monster. See, why? You know what? If you want to just nerd out on YouTube tomorrow, America, just search like Myles Garrett. Try to find a compilation of Myles Garrett playing like pickup basketball. It's just like monstering people because it's pretty fun.
Also, PJ Walker gets another win.
Yeah, XFL legend.
Controversially, I would say that I don't believe that ball was catchable at the end.
It very much was not.
Very much was not.
No.
The Colts kind of got screwed here.
Yeah, and absolutely.
Shit, like Minshew looked fucking good in this game.
Yeah, he did.
Patriots 29, Bills 25.
This was exciting.
This was a good game too.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with the Bills is. It just seems like I'm gonna be honest, like if we're gonna call Daniel Jones Vanilla Vic, can we start calling Josh Allen Vanilla Jameis Winston? Dude, I'm serious. Like
he can run a little bit better than Jameis.
He can run a little bit better than Jameis, but he's starting to seem to like fall into that pattern of like good game, blow up game, good game.
He does have a lot of fuck it moments,
right? Like he really feels like Vanilla Jameis to me. Like he's either that or he's like Sex Cannon 2.0, like the second coming of Rex Grossman.
Speaking of which though, can we get Jameis starting somewhere, please?
I mean,
an entertainment factor.
The way that you know what sucks about being a Saints fan right now is that David Carr, like when he gets hurt, he looks like he's actually crying.
Yeah.
Like his face, like he looks like he actually
permanent mascara.
Yeah, and it actually for something about his face actually looks like he's crying. So like I always think that like he's dead and he's never gonna play again. So it's Jameis time. It's time for the Jameis era again. It turns out it's never Jameis time ever again in the NFL. He lost that privilege.
Also, Mac Jones looked good in the Patriots game. He did look good.
Turns out.
I forgot me. Giants 14, Commanders 7.
Called this one.
Yeah, you did. I saw a stat. I believe Sam Howell is on pace to be sacked 93 times this season.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. And here's the deal. I think Tyrod. I think they'll be fine with Daniel Jones back because I don't think that Daniel Jones is really that bad. I think that that team just doesn't work when Saquon isn't playing.
Yeah.
Like, if you put Saquon back on the field, that's a really good football team, no matter who the quarterback is. Like, they'll be a little bit better with Daniel Jones back, like, once they're both on the field at the same time.
But you need Saquon.
But you have to have Saquon. Yeah, because, like, especially with, like, the complete dearth of talent that they have, outside of Jalen Hyatt, a wide receiver who's actually pretty good, outside of that, like, they really don't have much at wide receiver between him and Waller. Yeah. So, like, you really need somebody like Saquon to, like, make that actually go.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, I don't think they're really that bad at all.
Falcons 16. Buccaneers 13.
I was so wrong here. I was so
tough.
very wrong. The only thing that was more amazing than the outcome was like how hard both of these teams battled down the stretch to not win these games. Like
3 red zone fumbles from Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, you almost had 2 fumbles through the end zone for just Atlanta.
No picks though, no interceptions.
No picks. Yep.
And also the Bucs cannot run the ball to save their lives.
No, they can't.
Steelers 24, Rams 17.
This was pretty exciting.
This was a good game.
Yeah, and Puka Nacua still shredding.
He's a dude.
He's a dude.
Seahawks 20, Cardinals 10.
Got to see a lot of this one on the old red zone, and
Cardinals are dog shit.
But they actually looked pretty good throughout this game.
They're good at covering first half spreads. I will say that. I think they're like, since Dobbs has been in there, they're like undefeated against the spread first half.
Yeah, but they can't. They're not good at.
Cannot close games.
They're not good at closing games. No.
The Seahawks, I also think, are just a legitimately good team.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty good, and plus, I mean,
no DJ this game.
Yeah, Jake Bobo is kind of balling out up there too.
He's a dude.
Yeah.
Broncos 19, Packers 17.
I can't believe that the Packers lost this football game, dude. What the hell?
The Packers are sneakily one of the worst teams in the NFL.
This is also the second time that I've decided to pick up Luke Musgrave off of waivers for a spot start against a team that's supposed to be bad against the tight end, and him just not do any. Oh, him leave with a concussion.
Yeah.
After not scoring a lot of points. Meanwhile, Darren Waller on the bench. Yeah, I should still win this week though. No worries.
Chiefs 31, Chargers 17. Staley's done, right?
He's got to be.
Got to be.
Yeah, because you already fired all the coordinators last year. That's why I think Sam Pittman will still be around next year, is because after you fire the coordinators, you get another year.
Yeah, you get like a year.
Yeah, and if you can't do it with the new coordinators, then you're done.
Eagles 31, Dolphins 17.
September is a liar.
September is a liar, and I will make as many excuses as I have to for this game.
Yeah, but I still think that this Dolphins team is really good. I still think they're the fastest football team that I've ever seen in my life. And
we're banged up. Dolphins did have, I believe, 2 offensive line starters out. Had another one get taken out in this game.
Yeah, but you're missing A-Chain still.
Still missing A-Chain. Still missing offensive line people.
Which I know it might be A-Chain, but I'm sorry, brother. I'm always going to say A-Chain.
I think he said you could do it either way.
Yeah.
And then
Always.
also on defense, obviously no Jalen Ramsey. And this game, I believe like 2 days before, no Xavier Howard either. So your best
Yeah.
two DBs not in. I believe that left Eli Apple as the number.
Yeah. Roast apples holding
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
Plus also like AJ Brown in the weight room is friends. You know what's great is my first 2 draft picks on my fantasy team were Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
I will say this: the Eagles, like both offensive and defensive lines, are so good.
Yeah.
So they're so good up front.
Yep. And
Dolphins couldn't run at all in this game.
I can go ahead and I can tell you what's going to happen in this here Monday night game because it is 22-17 Minnesota right now with
6.5 minutes.
6.5 left. It is a Monday night primetime game. I'm going to go ahead and say that San Francisco converts this 4th and 1 and that they go ahead and score a touchdown to win this thing 24-22. Giving you
you don't think they go for 2?
Oh, that's true.
25-22?
Yeah, they win at 25-22.
Okay. I'm down with that.
That's my final score prediction because it is a primetime game.
There you go.
There's Kirk Cousins.
Shout out to Shady Sports Network.
What's up, man? Yeah. There we go.
Chase, any parting thoughts for the people?
I've been rambling for a really long time tonight.
It's been a long show. I want to know why pumpkins are so sexy to me sometimes during the season. I saw a squash while I was going to the pumpkin patch.
Full on, just
bricked up.
Bricked up.
Bricked up with a turkey leg in my hand.
That is fantastic.
All right, folks. Thank you for watching the Jimnasium. We'll see you next week on Sunday night. Sunday night for the live stream. Be there or don't. I don't know. We like you there. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. We'll see you guys next week. A toodaloo. Bye, 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 bye.